Hey guys, I'm P-Freak and welcome to Super Mario Advance 4 Super Mario Bros. 3. It is a remake on the Game Boy Advance of Super Mario Bros. 3, and for those of you who don't know, which I would not be surprised, roughly around, I want to say like 12 years ago at this point, this was actually the first game I ever made YouTube videos on. Yeah, it was a really crappy camcorder that I just pointed at my DS, and I played through the entire game like that. The camcorder took 4 AA batteries, and drained those batteries like nothing else. But yes, this has gone on record to be my favorite game of all time, and it's been a good while since I last played it, so let's see if it holds up to my memory. Let's get going. Now, of course, this is the remake, the part of the Advance series. The Advance series are basically remakes of a few of the Mario platformers that have been released throughout the years. There was no original Mario platformer on the Game Boy Advance. Super Mario Advance 1 had Mario World, I think. No, that had Mario Bros. 2, or Doki Doki Panic, whichever. Advance 2 had Mario World, Advance 3 had Yoshi's Island, and Advance 4 has the best one, Super Mario Bros. 3, which is often called to be one of the best Mario games. But as you can see here, we have the options of either Mario Bros. 3 or Mario Bros., which is one of the arcade games that were released under the Mario name. We will get to this eventually, but of course we're here for the main thing. But also, fun little fact, if you keep going back and forth for a little bit, you eventually get... Come on, don't make a liar out of me. Game. You get little Easter eggs. You have Luigi pop down here. And there's one up here too. Come on. And you get Mario holding a Koopa shell. And with that Koopa shell in hand, let's go.
Here we go! Super Mario!
So, as I said before, Super Mario Bros. 3 is one of the best games of all time, one of the best platformers, definitely. And I much prefer this remake over the original, or even the release that they had on the Super Nintendo. There's a reason why this was remade so many times, and why people remember it so fondly. Also, in case you can't tell, it's kind of sort of a stage play, which is definitely an interesting choice for video games, especially this early. I just realized there's still a file on here, whoops. That was me. I had recorded this earlier, but unfortunately I had forgotten to separate the audio channels, so yeah, I had to scrap the recording. And don't worry about this right now. We will get here eventually. But yeah, you have 3 different files on here, which is nice, especially for a Game Boy Advance game, where you could have one kid who has a file and another kid with another file. And I miss games that had multiple file selections. I really do. Now, granted, it doesn't really happen that often where we share games anymore, I guess, or maybe that's just me. And also, you get to choose either Mario or Mario and Luigi. There technically is a multiplayer. There is a multiplayer option in this game, but I never got to do it because I never had somebody else who also had Super Mario Advance 4 or someone with a link cable. So, and also, as much as this is called Super Mario Brothers, I don't really care for Mario that much. I am a Luigi stan. So how do I play only Luigi? Simple. You do this, you give all your lives to Luigi, which is an interesting thing to do because, like, if you were to play this, like, back and forth, one person completes a level and then another person completes the other level, you could actually share lives this way, which is pretty cool. But you give all your spare lives to Luigi, walk to the first level, and just say hey to this Goomba.
Oh, Mamma mia!
And now you give no lives to Mario, so now you permanently are able to play as Luigi. There's one downside to playing as Luigi, though. At the end of every level, you're going to have to deal with a fade screen, where it fades out, shows Luigi, and then fades back in like you just saw there. With Mario, you can just go on to the next level, so it's a little annoying, but again, we are a Luigi standing household here. And let's get it moving, shall we? Now, Mario is super simple. It's literally run, jump, make it from the start of the level to the end of the level. There are a few things that make this interesting along the way, including power-ups. First power-up, First power-up I grabbed should be one known to everyone, which is a Super Mushroom, which allows you to basically turn big and take an extra hit. Another side effect of it is that now any other power-up things would be different power-ups. Initially, you would always get a Super Mushroom if you always started off as like small Luigi or whatever, no matter what power-up box you hit. Simple Mario stuff. I probably won't go into too much depth into it. If you've played video games before, chances are you played at least one Mario game at some point. I will also be showing you as many secrets as I can around here. There were actually a few secrets that I've only learned recently. I want to say by recently I mean like in the past year or two, about some of the levels in this game. This is an obvious secret for me. I've known this for a long time. But yeah, that also skips majority of the level. But I do want to show off this right here. in case you don't skip it, which you could do, if I can time it correctly. It's kind of hard to do, even with an Xbox controller on emulator. Yeah. You have a P-switch here, and when you hit a P-switch, all the bricks become coins. Now, when you come to the end of the stage here, you can get this little icon here. If you look in the lower right-hand corner, you see 3 squares. The idea here is that every time you complete a stage, you get an icon here, and once you fill all 3 icons, you gain lives. If you manage to match 3 of the same icon, you gain multiple lives instead of just 1. There's a little trick how you can get the best one possible each time. So the trick here is that you want to make sure you have P-speed. P-speed is basically just a way to make you go faster. You also saw earlier that I was able to fly with this power-up. I will explain that later once I'm done explaining this. I have ADHD brain right now. But yeah, you want to make sure you can get past that. Wow, I really slurred my words there. Max out your P-speed before the card comes into view, and then hit it as soon as you can, and boom, you get the star. You match 3 stars, you get 5 1-ups. You match 3 fire flowers, you get 3 1-ups. If you match 3 mushrooms, you get 2 1-ups. Alright, as we go into 1-2, I will finally explain what this power-up is. This is my favorite, well, my second favorite power-up. There's another power-up we'll get later on that I like much more than this. This is called the Super Leaf. Basically, it allows you to fly, but it also allows you to hover by really pressing A while you're in the air, which makes platforming a breeze, honestly. In order for you to fly, as you saw earlier, you just max out your P-speed, and you can start flying for a short bit. And there's actually a secret here. Nope, not that one. It's this one. Go under a brick and actually jump into it to break it, or open it. I have another P-switch here. It's interesting how there are 2 P-switches in the first 2 levels. Yeah, you climb up here real quick, and you can actually go to this pipe. And down here, you see these bricks, but they turn to coins. So yeah, well, bricks will turn to coins, and coins will turn to bricks. So, nice little thing. Yeah, it's mostly just here to collect more coins, get more lives. That's the only really thing that coins have around here, is to just get more lives, which, I mean, never hurts. Again, this game's pretty simple, but there can be a bit of a difficulty curve sometimes. And considering it's been a good while since I last played this game, let's see if that difficulty curve holds up. But if you've never actually played Super Mario Bros. 3 in any of its iterations, I definitely recommend giving it a try. It's really good. I do recommend either these... Oh, forgot about that. Oh, can't be so good. I do recommend the Super NES version or the GBA version that I'm playing. Play one of those two because they have save options, while the NES version does not, unfortunately. That I just picked up was a Starman power-up. It's another iconic power-up of Mario's. Basically, it makes you invulnerable for a few seconds. Now, here's a fun little thing, actually, about Super Mario Bros. 3 that I don't think you're really able to do in the other games. You can actually skip levels. And I'm not saying skip levels like use a warp or anything like that. You can actually just straight up skip levels. We can go to the fortress right now, and we would never have to touch level 3 or level 4. I am doing a 100% playthrough, though, so I will be touching level 3 and level 4. That sounded horrible. I apologize. Anyways, we're going into 1-3 over here. Get instruction of a new enemy, the Boomerang Bro, which he just throws a boomerang and basically just... The boomerang eventually comes back to him, like a boomerang. We also got other Mario enemies here. We saw Goombas, we saw Koopas, we saw fire, piranha plants and all that. But if we wait for the Koopa Shell to break this open and get here, we have this little music block, where if we jump on it, we get to go into Coin Heaven. I think that's what this is actually officially called. Where basically we have a whole bunch of coins we can collect here. Again, coins' only purpose is to actually just give you level ups. I keep wanting to say level ups, 1-ups. But there's a nice little secret that this is one of the secrets I only learned recently. If you go flying like partway through the heaven, there's actually that little thing right there. It's a free 1-up in it. So yeah, it's nice. Again, just a free place for you to get more coins and more 1-ups. And with that, we basically skipped the entirety of World 1-3, which is fine. I've skipped it several times, but it's nothing really too interesting. Just a bunch of pitfalls, enemies, and some blocks here. But there is a nice little secret that's pretty infamous in this. Or not infamous, but it's a pretty well-known secret, especially in the NES days. If you go into this white block here, hold down, give it a little bit. It's shy. Yeah, we get to go into the background of the environment. And if we go all the way to the end while we're in the background, 1 toot on this whistle will send you to a faraway land. Yeah, we get a little item here. We get the Warp Whistle. Now, with this Warp Whistle, we're able to go to a Warp Island, and that allows us to actually warp to other worlds. This was basically how you would continue playing through the game back in the NES days, and it's just carried over from that. Technically, you can also use this to speedrun all the way to the end of the game, because that's not the only Warp Whistle we're going to be able to get. But, before we deal with that, we have this right here. Pick a box. Its contents will help you on your journey, on your way. I keep thinking it says journey. But yeah, we can choose items out of any one of these boxes. Just gonna go first one like you usually do, and we get a super mushroom. You might have noticed that there's actually an item storage. This was even in the original NES version. You can actually store items, which is actually pretty cool, and I think really innovative for a Mario game. Yeah, this is basically the first iteration of it, and we have a lot of space. I also, unlike some people, actually like getting super mushrooms because most of the times when you're in levels, you'll have a power-up box at the beginning. So if you have a super mushroom, you won't get like a super mushroom again. You already have a super mushroom, and then you can just get a power up from the power-up box. This level, you want to pay attention to how many coins you get and make sure you get as many coins as you can, because there's a little secret. And there goes one. Last time I recorded this, I unfortunately did not get the secret. And this isn't the only level of its kind. There are multiple levels that have this sort of thing, so you can definitely look for a list of them online or whatever. There's another one up right here. That's another nice thing about the Super Leaf is that with the little raccoon tail, you can press B, and you do a little spin attack, which can be really useful, both in breaking bricks and dealing with enemies. Yeah, you can see why. You can probably see why this is my favorite power-up like ever. You get to fly, you get to have a little spin attack. What's there not to love? Alright. Hopefully that was all the coins. Another boomerang for over there. Let's see if I can still get the 3 stars here. Yeah! Nice. And there we go. We got 3 panels there, and that gives us 5 more lives. Like I said, it's super easy to get lives in this game if you know what you're doing. And we did get it this time. Nice. So, I think like one level per world. There'll always be a level where if you collect enough coins, you can have something special appear. This time, we had the White Mushroom House appear. And in this, hello, you found my shop of strange and wonderful things. We get a single item, which is a P-Wing. P-Wing is a very, very powerful item. You know the ability to fly that we only have temporarily, unfortunately, until our P meter runs out? You don't have to worry about that with the P-Wing. With the P-Wing, you have infinite flight, at least until the end of the level. Once the level ends, it returns back to regular Super Leaf. Which, fair enough, that's a fair way to balance things. Also, we have another mini-game here. This, I think, is called like a roulette or something. Line up the pictures and get a prize. You only get 1 try. So yeah, this is a little roulette. We're basically, as Toad said, we're trying to line up the pictures. Depending on what picture we line up, we will get different one-ups. However, if we do not get a perfect match of any of the pictures, then we will not get any one-ups. So, let's see. We press A to start, so we have the Fire Flower. I know it's blue, but I think it's supposed to be a Fire Flower. There is a timing to this. I remember for the first timing, you want to just hit it right as the item you want is going through the middle. Yeah, and then for this one, you want it to hit where it's like 2 spots, I think, so we want to hit it when the star legs appear. Or go through the middle. I think. Damn. I want to do it a little earlier. Oh well, we didn't get anything that time. If we do manage to actually make a match though, it will then eventually upgrade to a higher tier of roulette where we can actually get more lives. We have a different picture there, and then we can get more lives. It doesn't matter which picture we make on the first one, we will always get to a next tier. And there are 4 different tiers. You saw it had a spade there, so there's a spade, it goes spade, heart, clubs, diamonds, if I recall correctly. Something like that. And then diamond tier is really special, but again, really hard, because you gotta get that roulette perfectly 3 times in a row. But welcome to our first fortress, and our first fortress also has a secret. If you fly all the way up here, you hear me hit the ceiling, and if you go all the way up here and you press up, then you will go to a room with another warp whistle. But we're not dealing with the warp whistles this time. Instead, we're just going to go through the door that's right here and knock down the dry bones in the meantime. And here's another common thing about fortresses: spikes. Yeah, Potaboos, which are those fireballs, dry bones, which are the skeleton turtles, and spikes. Yeah, pretty common things here you're going to see in fortresses. And look, it doesn't even graze me. It does graze me, but it doesn't hurt me, thankfully. Another common thing you're going to see in fortresses is the boss at the end. Iconic, very iconic in Mario. It's Boom Boom! And also, he's very easy to take care of. You just hit him 3 times on his head, don't hit him while his spikes are up. And there we go. Fortress complete. And the nice thing about completing fortresses is now you have a shortcut. Kind of a pointless shortcut if you already completed all the levels, but shortcut's a shortcut. Alright, and we have another mini-game here. Yes, this game is very good at keeping variety in its different levels and stuff. We have Hammer Bros. Now, these guys can be very infamous if you're in the speedrunning scene. Basically, at the end of every level, they will run around the map to a different location. And I think if they go to, like, the first open space, they can, if I recall correctly. So open spaces are basically where the little coins are. However, if there's another Hammer Bro on top of that space, then they won't go into that space. They'll try to find their next open space, and that can cause problems in the speedrunning scene. Yeah, go up and look at like some guide for a Super Mario Bros. 3 speedrun tutorial, and they'll tell you how painful it is. Alright. Finally back to the regular levels. I mean, technically the fortress you can consider a regular level, but that was a 1- fortress. This is 1-5 properly. We got a new enemy here, Buzzy Beetles. Buzzy Beetles can't be KO'd by like a spin attack or whatever. However, they can be knocked down like a Cupid shell. They're pretty resilient guys. And we have another coin heaven thing here. So let's get on up here, grab our coins, grab our 1-up. And look at that. We're only at 1-5 and we already have 20 lives. Infinite life glitch? Who's that? Getting a lot of lives does mean that sometimes games like this and other Mario 2D platforms can be super easy. I've heard a decent challenge is Super Mario Bros. 2, which is a remake of. Would you call it a remake? Basically, it's Doki Doki Panic with a new coat of paint. Okay, we have this down here, but otherwise we didn't really miss too much going through that coin heaven there. These levels are, I will admit, these levels are a lot shorter than I remember them being. But when you're playing on a like road trip or whatever on GBA, then it's actually nice to have these. Don't worry, we'll be getting to much more difficult levels much later on. Because, like I said, we're doing 100% on this, and when I say 100%, I mean oh, hello. Didn't expect to get this early. I mean 100%. This is another minigame. I think this is the last. No, there's one more minigame technically that we can go through. Or I guess I keep calling these minigames. They're basically like detours from the norm. This, flip over any 2 cards and see if they match. Miss twice, and you're out. So yeah, it's a memory game. Basically, you have all these cards laid out here, and as you flip them over, you can possibly get nice little bonuses. I got lucky there. There are only 8 layouts that these cards can be, though. So if you just look up the layouts online, and then you figure out which layout is yours, you can basically take care of this in one shot. I do not have these up right now, and I'm not going to. Don't really care to do so. I'm going to play this like I was supposed to, like men. And I lost after I got the 1-up. Again, lots of 1-ups. Alright, so 1-6. If I can keep my Super Leaf, if I remember last time, I lost my Super Leaf when I was trying to keep it here. There's actually something interesting that I never knew was here. Yeah, I think I lost it really doing that. Or this. There's these things, yeah, you have a lot of coins you can get from here. These little quote-unquote infinite coin blocks, they're more like timers. Once you hit it, a timer starts, and you're trying to collect as many coins as you can before the timer ends. I think the max you can get is like 10 coins. And then up here, we have a 1-up. Fun little trick about the 1-up. The direction the 1-up will go will be the opposite direction in which you're facing once you hit the 1. So if you're always wondering why you keep losing your 1-ups in like World 1-4, that's probably why. Alright, here's a little secret that I never knew was actually here. If you manage to get your P speed right here, can I do so? No. Rather difficult. Here we go. If you manage to get your P speed, there are actually coins up here. I never knew there were actually coins up here that you could just get and honestly just float around. I used to also remember being so scared of that jump. That jump was so difficult for me as a kid. Now it's like, God, it's nothing. It really has been a long time since I last, like, fully experienced this game. I've gotten way better at video games then, and I'm quite proud of that. Alright, let's see what item we get. I apologize also for the explaining nature of this first episode. It just happens. This first world's basically your quote-unquote tutorial world, and honestly, you don't even need much of a tutorial. Oh, it's terrible. The king has been transformed. Please, find the magic wand so we can change him back. Yeah, you don't really need a tutorial much to get through this, honestly. That's the nice simplicity about a lot of, like, old NES games. The only tutorial you really got is through the manual, but, like Mario games, for example, you just run and jump and make it from point A to point B. Alright, welcome to... That was stupid of me. An airship. So, in airships, basically, they're known as autoscrollers. We also saw that 1-4 was an autoscroller, where basically I have no control of the pace. We have to just move at the game's pace to make it from point A to point B, while also avoiding obstacles. Those enemies right there, the Bullet Bills, they're also very iconic, especially if you play a lot of Mario Kart. Fun little fact about the Bullet Bills, because of this sprite, I always thought the Bullet Bills, their arms, I always thought that was their eyes. I don't know why that was the case. If you ever see this, their arms, I always thought it looked like eyes. I also have the most iconic power-up in the Mario game, besides the mushroom, the Fire Flower. Basically, you press B and you shoot out up to 2 balls of fire at a time. Only 2 balls can be on the screen. But it's nice to get that just before the boss, because we have Larry, the first of the Koopalings. Yes, this is... Technically, the NES version was the first time the Koopalings ever appeared in Mario games, and yet they'd make a return several games later. So these guys normally, what you're supposed to do is hit them on their heads 3 times, like you did with Boom Boom. But what you can also do is just hit them with fireballs a bunch, and boom. That was Larry, the first of the Koopalings. And with this also being the first time that they're seen, we also get to see them in proper, like, age order, or the order that I've always established them to be. So Larry was the youngest and also the easiest. They will get much harder than that, though. Some of them are really annoying. But with that, we transform to King. Oh, splendid, splendid! I am back to my old self again. Thank you so much. Here is a letter for the princess. Ooh, we got something from Princess Peach. Yep, at the end of every world, you'll get something from Princess. Greetings. If you see any ghosts, be careful. They will give chase if you turn away. I have enclosed a jewel that helps protect you. Princess Toadstool. Yeah, so she gives you little tips here at the end of every world, as well as a little bonus item. Here we got another P-Wing, and... hearing that sound effect means that we have perfectly cleared the world, meaning we have done every single level. If you don't perfectly complete a level, don't worry, there'll be a chance for you to go back and actually complete them. And with that, that's World 1. Welcome to World 2. Oh no, it's a desert world. The first world was a grass world, and this is a desert world. Who would have seen that coming? To be fair, this is like the first instance of that ever happening, at least back in the NES days. But with that all said and done, that's going to be it for now. We already made it through World 1, which was pretty easy, and World 2, honestly, I do like a little bit more than World 1 in some aspects. So yeah, that's going to be it for now. I'm really excited to start this back up again. Again, it has been a long time. A little bit of quick history. First started out with me, this is my first ever playthrough, recording things, and then I technically did it again when I first got my first screen recorder. I said first a lot that time. And now we're back. Full circle, baby. That's going to be it. If you like what I do, subscribe to my channel. Follow me on all my social media links. All that will be in the description. Next time, it's off to World 2, the Desert World. I'll see you guys then.